Hello and welcome to Maverick Live. I'm your host Luke 2 and today I'm joined by Kurtis here.
Hello, thanks for having me again.
How you doing? You doing well?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. No one asks me how I am. I just go good and we move on. Thank you for asking me.
No problem.
We're doing good. So today we're talking about account-based marketing. This is something which obviously yourself and all the sales team kind of specialize in, especially when it comes to social selling on LinkedIn. First of all, I'll talk about what account-based marketing is. So essentially, when you market in general, maybe to customers or maybe just on social media, you're kind of just putting out your industry and your content and just saying like, hey, this is great, come look at me. And it's very broad and it's just to anyone in an industry, anyone in like decision makers you're looking for. But account-based marketing is where you're actually targeting accounts. You're actually, people that you've researched, you want to do business with, and you're saying, right, I want to work with this company or this person and I'm going to market straight to them.
Yeah, so it's basically where you're making things more specific, but account-based marketing is where you would go for more clients that are worth more value to you. So let's say if you've got all of your products and your services where you're just targeting very generic, and obviously that's happening in the background, but let's go where you've got key accounts that are all worth 50,000 plus. So what you want to do is you want to identify who those companies are first, but then what we call account mapping next is identifying who you need to speak to in those companies, whether it's the marketing manager, the sales directors, and almost mapping out the influencers in that journey. Because obviously, if you're talking to a 10,000 man company and you want to connect straight with the sales director, it's not really going to happen straight away, is it? So you almost have to go, who do I need to speak to first? Could be sales manager, could be regional sales director, then the sales director.
And to get your foot in that ladder, you need to talk to them and get them interested first of all. So a lot of people use lead magnets. They can use pages which are interested in. Some people write blogs specific to that industry. So say we were selling to a finance company, we'd be like, this is top 10 hashtags for finance companies to use to increase their following. And then maybe they'll look into that and go, oh, that's interesting. I want to grow my reach. They want to grow their reach. They might want to be, trying to sell online. You take those avenues down there. And the marketing side of things, especially for account-based, it starts to niche down what it is you're talking about. So you want to actually find out what those companies are really interested in, and then talk in their language and talk to them about how you can help them. A lot of the time with the companies that we approach, especially the larger contracts, they want to train sales teams. They want to use whole sales teams on how to use it as a team, and the strategy behind it. And so what we do then is we talk to directors about managing and helping the sales team sell. Yeah,
so you're completely right. So depending on who you want to speak to, you need to map those out, because actually it's no longer a generic message. It's now a targeted message where if we're talking to salespeople, we're now focusing our conversations maybe on leads and building pipeline, whereas if we were speaking to marketing people, it would have been more about brand awareness, brand visibility, social thought leadership. So once you've mapped that out, it almost guides your content and almost your message to go, actually, I need to stay in these parameters where the sales director understands that I know his business and he understands that I'm the one who can help him if I'm speaking in his language and talking his terms.
Yeah, so if we approached someone who was the top of a huge multinational conglomerate, we wouldn't talk about growing and building an SME, would we?
No.
We wouldn't talk about, oh, this is a great way how you can get your brand out there. They have someone to help them with their marketing. They don't care about any of that. What they do care about is probably the end goal of reaching those decision makers, of reaching the people they want to talk to, and having those big contracts. And that's what account-based marketing and account-based selling is all about. It's these bigger contracts. It's these, it's this social selling way to reach corporates. It's a way to talk to someone on the high end, on the high chain, who is probably being sold to 5 times every, half an hour. People really want to talk to this person. And it's a way of delivering content to them where they're actually interested and actually will then give you an inbound lead and give you a conversation.
So it's almost being smart of your pain points, because if we refer to our basis, everyone will predominantly come to us because they want more sales on LinkedIn. But depending on who you'll speak to, that message changes. So as I said previously, in terms of marketing people, it's more probably about brand visibility, about growing the company page, about growing the company following. With salespeople, it's more about leads, generating sales leads. And even when you go to the higher end, where it's more sales directors, it's actually, have your team got a consistent social selling strategy? Do you mean like those types of terms where they struggle with? So what we teach as well, in terms of account-based marketing, when we do it organically, this is where your interactions come into place. So obviously we say, it takes at least 2 to 3 reciprocal interactions before anyone wants to talk business with you. So once you've mapped out those accounts, it's now your job to actually interact with those people and gain that relational advantage over your competitors.
Yeah.
But what it also does with the algorithm, anyone you're targeting, so let's say we've mapped out Coca-Cola and the sales director is the person who I'm interacting with.
Yeah.
Because I'm interacting with him, LinkedIn's algorithm, will start to go, Kurtis is keeping the sales director of Coca-Cola on the platform. Every time Kurtis posts, we'll just make sure the sales director sees it. So that's almost how you get your message intercepted, but you have to do the interactions to really channel that message. Yeah,
it's a key thing of business development, of having your marketing and your sales pretty much coming together.
Yeah.
So whenever you post, they see it all the time, and they enjoy what you're saying, and because it's talking to something they actually care about.
Yeah.
Other than, I'd say, general marketing, as in brand awareness, it can just be all about your company or, what you do. Whereas with account-based, it's all about the person. So your content isn't really more about yourself. It's more about the person, the personal profile, speaking to the language of the people they're trying to talk to and they're trying to reach.
Yeah, so it's almost seeding your value proposition to that specific market or like company, how you said. But yeah, it's literally doing those interactions to make sure they see it. Because at the end of the day, if they don't see the message, then you're just a normal guy who's just pitching and speaking to them.
Yeah.
Whereas you need to have that combined strategy to actually go, yep, these guys are seeing me every day and I'm going to be top of mind, I'm going to look like the industry leader. Then it all falls onto the salesperson who's interacting to actually go, now I need to get into conversations with these people.
So a lot of people can get lost in the numbers, especially if they say they play the numbers game. To them, they're like, oh, I reached 1,000 people today. That's great. That means they've all saw my content. But they might not be those people who want to, do business with you or might even hire contract. So account-based marketing actually would bring that down to maybe 100. But it's targeted actions then.
Yeah, it makes it more a quantity game. So I'm sure you've seen as well, a lot of people when it comes to LinkedIn, especially the ones we've helped, they get too into their, oh yes, I'm hitting 10,000 views a day. And then obviously the minute that goes down to 5,000, they're like, oh, I'm missing 5,000 views. But actually, those views, if you look on the views, it may be all salespeople who you're targeting, but is it key accounts that you're going to really work with and make a difference with? Like, do you know those accounts? Whereas if you go, actually, I'm going to do my interactions with these people, and actually 50 of those, let's say if you only got 500 views, were actually your 50 people that you're targeting, that's way better than 5,000 of you have no idea and you can influence that.
Yeah, it's then people you can talk to, you can engage with, and you can book meetings with.
Yeah, precisely.
Whereas if it's just figures and numbers, it could be bot accounts.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's had trouble with bot accounts lately. But like you said, it's not a numbers game anymore. It's then like I said, it's a quality of your leads you're getting. And I feel like the sales team and people who work with bringing in those sales will prefer those to obviously the big numbers. Because it's hard to break through that mentality. Because I think when it comes to marketing and social media in general, it's all about the likes, it's all about the views, it's all about the shares. But you have to take a step further and go, okay, who's liking it? Who's sharing it? Who's commenting on my post?
And I think the great thing about account-based marketing for a lot of companies is that it gives the sales teams focus.
Yeah.
Because we all know social media is just a massive platform where you can almost get in shock, because there's just so much going on, so you don't know where to go. You're doing a bit there, you're doing a bit here, you're doing a bit there, trying to gather revenue from like all different avenues. But actually, if you go, these are the specific companies that I need to get into, these are the specific people that I need to grow relationships with, and then I just need to focus my content to hit their pain points. Yeah,
and if you don't, then you think to yourself, okay, what went wrong in that strategy, and what can I do better next time?
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to do is just put all those content out there, then start messaging people, because then what you'll do is you'll burn all those accounts that you want to talk to. So you might be a very limited number of people who will do business with you because you might be a really niche company. So if you don't have the right approach, social media, you might feel you've burnt all of your leads straight away, but you can probably still bring it back if you, talk their language again, give them some value in your content. And that's what marketing is all about, is, bringing people into your world, providing, your business's value to them and then selling to them. And in an account-based world, it's just doing it on a smaller scale, but more targeted, pinpoint, which gets better results.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
Well, thanks for coming down, Kurtis.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for watching Maverick Live today. We'll be back for our next show on Monday. We're back at 12:15, so don't forget to check that out. Please subscribe to us if you're enjoying the content and like on all our social media channels. And we'll see you next time. Thanks again, Kurtis.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next time.